What is time? Not what does a clock measure, not the thing that passes between breakfast and lunch. What is it? You wake up every morning and time feels obvious, like a river flowing forward, carrying you along. Yesterday sits behind you, tomorrow waits ahead. Simple, intuitive. That belief is not a little wrong, fundamentally wrong. Here's a fact that should stop you cold. Right now, a GPS satellite orbits above your head, and it's experiencing time faster than you are. Not metaphorically, not poetically. Its atomic clocks literally tick at a different rate than the watch on your wrist. Engineers correct for this daily. If they didn't, your phone's map would drift 11 kilometers off course every single day. Same universe, same moment, different times. How? Because time isn't a river you float through. Time is a receipt. The universe prints it when light travels somewhere. And the speed of that light? Non-negotiable. Light doesn't care about your schedule, doesn't care about your feelings. It moves at exactly 299,792,458 meters per second. Always. And everything else, including time itself, bends around that number. This isn't philosophy, this is accounting. The universe keeps strict books, and time is just one line item. By the end of this video, you'll understand why clocks lie, why now doesn't exist, why the present moment you trust is actually a memory, and you'll never look at light the same way again. Let me show you. Look at your phone. Go ahead, pick it up. Look at the screen. You're not looking at glass and metal. You're looking at a time machine, a broken one that lies to you 60 times per second. Here's what I mean. Your phone screen refreshes. 60 times every second, those pixels update. Light fires from the display, crosses the gap between screen and eyeball, and lands on your retina. You think you're seeing now. Wrong. That light took time to reach you. Not much, nanoseconds, but time nonetheless. The image you see is already old by the time your brain processes it. Hold that thought. Now look across the room. See that wall? The light bouncing off it travels to your eyes. Takes a few more nanoseconds. That wall? You're seeing its past too. Look out the window. See the sun? That light left 8 minutes ago. You're not seeing the sun. You're seeing where it was, what it looked like. A memory printed in photons. This is where your intuition fails. You feel like you exist in a single moment, a universal now that everything shares. You, your phone, the wall, the sun, all existing together in the present. But there is no universal now. There can't be, because information travels at the speed of light, not faster, never faster. And that speed limit creates lag, everywhere, always. Your phone shows you its past. The wall shows you its past. The sun shows you its past. You've never seen the present moment in your entire life. Beautiful. And brutal. Here's the part nobody tells you. Your brain hides this from you. It stitches together all those delayed signals, light from your phone, light from the wall, light from the sun, and constructs a smooth experience, a comfortable illusion, the feeling of now. But that feeling? That's just your brain doing accounting, reconciling timestamps that don't actually match. The universe doesn't experience a shared present, you do, because your brain forces one to exist. Do this right now. Hold your hand in front of your face, close, few inches away. Now stretch your arm out fully. The light from your hand reaches you faster when it's close, slower when it's far. You're seeing two different pasts simultaneously. Your brain merges them into one moment. Doesn't feel like it, does it? That's the lie. And light is the liar. Not because light deceives, but because light obeys rules. Strict rules. Rules that make a universal now impossible. But here's where it gets stranger. The speed of light doesn't just delay information. It bends time itself. Let's break something in your brain. You've been told time is constant. 1 second for you equals 1 second for me. 1 second on Earth equals 1 second on Mars. Tick, tick, tick. Same everywhere. That's not an answer. That's a fairy tale. Here's what actually happens. Imagine light as a strict accountant, ruthless, emotionless, obsessed with one rule. Nothing travels faster than 299,792,458 meters per second. Nothing. Not information, not matter, not cause and effect. Now. What happens when something tries to cheat? Let's say you're standing still. A beam of light passes you. You measure its speed, 299,792,458 meters per second. Perfect. Now you start moving, fast, half the speed of light. That same beam passes you again. Common sense says you should measure it slower, right? You're chasing it, closing the gap. The relative speed should drop. Wrong. You measure it again. Same number. Exactly. 299,792,458 meters per second. Wait, how is that possible? You're moving toward it. The speed should change. But it doesn't. The constant is enforced. So what gives? Something else has to change. Something has to bend so that light speed stays fixed. That something is time. This isn't preference, it's accounting. When you move faster through space, you move slower through time. The universe forces this, automatically, so that when you measure light speed, you always get the same answer. Time stretches, time compresses, time molds itself around light's absolute speed. Think about what just happened. Light didn't adjust to you. You adjusted to light. Your clocks, your heartbeat, your aging, all of it slowed down. Because the universe needed to balance its books. The speed of light is the budget. Time is the expense that flexes. Now watch what this implies. Two people moving at different speeds experience different times. Not metaphorically. Their clocks literally tick at different rates. Their biological processes run differently. One ages faster than the other. Same universe, different timelines. People say time is a dimension we travel through. But that's just a label. Time isn't a road. Time is a receipt, proof that light moved from one place to another. And the amount on that receipt depends on how fast you were moving when the light arrived. Here's the part nobody tells you. You're moving right now. Earth spins. Earth orbits the sun. The sun orbits the galaxy. The galaxy drifts through the universe. You're never stationary, ever, which means your time is never neutral. It's always being adjusted, tweaked, bent by your motion through space. Every second you experience is customized, personal, unique to your exact velocity. There is no master clock, no universal ticker keeping everyone synchronized. Light doesn't allow it. So far we've learned this. Time isn't constant. It bends around light's fixed speed. Moving faster through space means moving slower through time. And this isn't theory. This is how GPS works, how particle accelerators work, how the universe actually operates. But none of this would be known without one teenager, a 16-year-old who asked a question so dangerous it shattered physics forever. His name was Albert Einstein, and his thought experiment will break your brain worse than anything so far. The year is 1895. A 16-year-old sits in class, bored, restless. His teachers think he's slow, unfocused, a problem student. But inside his head, something dangerous is happening. He's imagining light, not studying it, not reading about it, imagining it. He asks himself a question, a simple one, the kind of question a child asks before adults teach them to stop asking. What would happen if I rode alongside a beam of light? Think about it. You're traveling at 299,792,458 meters per second, right next to a light wave, matching its speed exactly. What would you see? Common sense says you'd see the light wave frozen, hanging in space, motionless, like running alongside a train at the same speed. The train appears still. Simple. Wrong. Here's where your intuition fails. Maxwell's equations, the laws governing electromagnetism, don't allow frozen light. A stationary light wave is a contradiction. It cannot exist. The math forbids it. So young Einstein faced a paradox. Either you can catch up to light, and the laws of physics break, or you can never catch up to light, no matter how fast you move. He chose the second option. Dangerous, wild, revolutionary. Light speed isn't just fast, it's absolute. Everyone measures the same speed, always, regardless of their own motion. But this creates a problem. If light speed never changes, something else must. Einstein realized what that something was: time. 10 years later, in 1905, he published his answer, Special Relativity. 4 papers that demolished everything physicists thought they knew. Here's the thought experiment that made it click. Imagine a train moving fast, very fast, close to light speed. You're standing on the platform, watching. Lightning strikes both ends of the train simultaneously. You see both flashes at the same moment. For you, these events are simultaneous. Now. Someone is sitting in the middle of the train, moving with it. Do they see both flashes at the same time? No. The light from the front flash has to catch up to them. They're moving away from it. The light from the back flash meets them sooner. They're moving toward it. They see the back flash first, then the front flash. Same lightning strikes, same universe, different order. Wait, who's right? You on the platform or them on the train? Both. That's the point. There is no universal simultaneous. No cosmic referee saying which events happen at the same time. Simultaneity depends on your motion. Think about what just happened. 2 people disagree on the order of events, and neither is wrong, because time itself is relative, personal, dependent on velocity. The universe doesn't keep a master timeline. It can't. Light's constant speed forbids it. People say time flows like a river, but that's just a label. Time doesn't flow. Time is calculated, event by event, observer by observer, based on where light was and how fast you were moving. Reality doesn't issue refunds. What you measure is what you get. Einstein didn't just change physics. He changed what now means. He proved that your present moment isn't shared. It's private, constructed by your motion through space, and nobody warned you. This wasn't accepted easily. Scientists mocked it, rejected it, called it fantasy, until the experiments started proving him right. Every single time. And the most dramatic proof? It doesn't involve trains or thought experiments. It involves the satellites orbiting above your head right now. The ones your phone uses to find directions. The ones that would fail catastrophically without Einstein's corrections. Let's make this concrete. No math, no equations, just a thought experiment you can hold in your head. Picture a long train platform. You're standing exactly in the middle, perfectly centered. At both ends of the platform, lightning strikes, simultaneously. 2 flashes, same moment. You see them arrive at your eyes at the exact same instant. For you, these events happen together. Simple. Now here's the twist. A train passes through, moving fast. Your friend sits in the middle of that train, moving with it. From your perspective, they're traveling toward the front flash, away from the back flash. What do they see? The back flash reaches them first. The front flash arrives later. They swear the back lightning struck before the front. You swear they struck together. Here's the part nobody tells you. You're both right. Not right in your own way. Not right from your perspective. Actually, physically, completely right. There's no hidden truth, no secret camera showing what really happened. The universe doesn't have a master record. Simultaneity is an illusion, brutal, but true. People say events happen in a fixed order, but that's just a label. The order depends on motion. Your motion, their motion, the motion of light traveling between events and eyeballs. Light doesn't negotiate. It arrives when it arrives, and your experience of time gets built from those arrivals. Nothing else. Do this right now. Snap your fingers. Now point at something across the room. You think those two events, the snap and the point, happened in a clear order. Snap first, point second. But someone moving fast enough relative to you? They might disagree about the gap between them. The interval stretches or compresses based on their velocity. Wild. Same events, different times, both valid. The universe keeps strict books, but it keeps different books for different observers. This changes everything, because if simultaneity isn't real, then now isn't real either. Your present moment is just your ledger, your accounting of light arrivals. Someone else has a different ledger, a different present, and neither cancels the other. So far we've learned this. Time is relative. Simultaneity depends on motion. There's no universal now. But this isn't just philosophy. This has consequences, real ones, technological ones, consequences that affect the phone in your pocket every single day. Open your phone, open maps, drop a pin. That blue dot showing your location, it's lying. Not maliciously, not intentionally, but lying nonetheless. Here's what actually happens when you request directions. 31 satellites orbit Earth, roughly 20,000 kilometers up, moving at 14,000 kilometers per hour. Each one carries an atomic clock, precise to nanoseconds. Your phone pings these satellites, measures how long their signals take to arrive, triangulates your position from the time differences. Simple geometry. Light speed multiplied by travel time equals distance. But here's where it gets strange. Those satellites are moving fast, 14,000 kilometers per hour fast. And according to Einstein, that means their time runs slower than yours. Special relativity. Motion slows time. Their clocks lose about 7 microseconds per day compared to ground clocks. Wait, there's more. Those satellites are also higher up, farther from Earth's gravity. And gravity affects time too. General relativity. Less gravity means time runs faster. Their clocks gain about 45 microseconds per day from the weaker gravity. Do the math. 45 gained, 7 lost. Net result, 38 microseconds faster every single day. That sounds tiny, meaningless. Wrong. Light travels 300 meters in 1 microsecond. 38 microseconds equals 11 kilometers of error, daily. Without corrections, your GPS would drift 11 kilometers off course, every day. By the end of a week, you'd be navigating from another city. The math doesn't lie. Engineers program corrections into every GPS satellite. They deliberately slow the onboard clocks, compensating for relativity before launch. Your phone doesn't do the physics. The satellites do it for you. This isn't theory. This is engineering. Millions of devices depend on Einstein being right. Every rideshare, every delivery, every aircraft landing system. And here's the part nobody tells you. You use time dilation daily. You just never noticed. People say relativity only matters at extreme speeds. But that's just a label. Relativity matters right now, in your pocket, keeping your blue dot accurate. Light doesn't care about convenience. The constant is enforced. And engineers have to respect that enforcement or everything breaks. Beautiful, brutal, real. But satellites aren't the strangest proof, not even close. The strangest proof comes from particles, tiny ones, screaming through the atmosphere at nearly light speed. Particles that shouldn't exist by the time they reach you, but they do. Something is raining on you right now. Not water, not sunlight. Muons, tiny particles, created when cosmic rays slam into the upper atmosphere, 60 kilometers up, moving at 99% the speed of light. Here's the problem. Muons are unstable. They decay. Fast. Average lifetime, 2.2 microseconds. Do the math. Light travels about 660 meters in 2.2 microseconds. Muons move slightly slower. They should travel maybe 700 meters before disintegrating. But they're born 60 kilometers up. They should never reach the ground. Impossible. Wrong. They reach you, millions of them, every minute, passing through your body right now as you watch this. How? Time dilation. From the muon's perspective, it lives 2.2 microseconds. Normal lifespan, nothing strange. But from your perspective, standing on Earth, watching that muon scream downward, its clock runs slower, much slower, because it's moving at 99% light speed. For you, that muon lives over 15 microseconds, enough time to travel 60 kilometers, enough time to reach the ground, reach your body, pass through you. Same particle, same decay process, different times. Think about what just happened. A particle that should die in the upper atmosphere survives to sea level. Not because it's special. Not because physics made an exception. Because time literally stretched for it. The universe balanced its books. The muon moved fast through space, so it moved slow through time. The accounting works out perfectly. Here's the part nobody tells you. You can detect these muons. Scientists do it constantly. They count arrivals at mountaintops, count arrivals at sea level, compare the numbers. If time dilation weren't real, almost none would reach sea level. But they do, in exactly the quantities relativity predicts. Exactly. This isn't philosophy. This is measurement, repeatable, verifiable, happening right now. People say time dilation is abstract, but that's just a label. Time dilation is physical. Particles live longer because of it. They exist in places they shouldn't. Reality doesn't issue refunds. The muon reaches you because time bent for it. You're swimming in proof. Every second. Millions of particles testifying that time is flexible. So far we've learned this. Thought experiments show simultaneity breaking. GPS shows time dilation in technology. Muons show time dilation in nature. But what does this mean? What does it really mean about time? This is where everything changes. Stop. Everything you've heard so far, forget the details. Focus on one thing. What is time actually made of? You've been told time is fundamental, a backdrop, a stage where events happen. The universe acts. Time watches. That's backwards, completely. Here's the reframe that changes everything. Time isn't the stage. Light is the stage. Time is just the shadow light casts when it travels through space. Let me say that again. Time is a shadow, an after effect, a byproduct of light doing its job. No light, no time. Sounds crazy, but think about it. How do you measure time? Clocks. What do clocks use? Movement. What does movement require? Light speed information transfer. Cause and effect. Signals propagating through space. Every clock is a light speed process. Atomic vibrations, pendulum swings, quartz oscillations, all governed by electromagnetic forces, all limited by light. Take light away, clocks stop. Not because they're broken, because time itself has no meaning without light defining intervals. Here's the part nobody tells you. Time doesn't exist independently. Time is what happens when light connects events, when photons carry information from here to there. The gap between departure and arrival, that's time. Nothing more, nothing less. People say time is the fourth dimension, but that's just a label. Dimensions exist whether you measure them or not. Time doesn't. Time only exists when light measures it. Wild. Think about a photograph. Frozen moment. No motion. No change. Does time exist inside that photograph? No. Time requires sequence. Before and after. Cause and effect. And sequence requires information traveling. Light moving between points, connecting them. The photograph captures one frame. Light stopped carrying updates. Time disappeared. Now watch what this implies. The universe isn't events happening in time. The The universe is light connecting events, and time is just the word we use for the connection process. This isn't preference, it's accounting. Light travels, space gets crossed, time gets recorded, the receipt prints. You don't move through time, time gets generated when you move through space. Every step you take creates time as a side effect, because light has to update your position, carry that information outward. You are a time-generating machine, walking around, creating temporal receipts with every motion. Beautiful. Do this right now. Wave your hand slowly in front of your face. Watch it move. You're not watching your hand travel through time. You're watching light carry sequential images to your eyes, creating the sensation of duration. Your hand didn't move through time. Light created time by showing you the movement. Same thing, completely different meaning. And this changes how you see everything. So where does this leave you? Right here, reading these words, thinking you exist in the present. You don't. The light from your screen left those pixels nanoseconds ago, traveled to your eyes, got processed by your retina, sent electrical signals to your brain. Your brain assembled an image. By the time you see anything, it's already past. You've never experienced the present moment. Not once, not ever. Everything you've ever seen is a memory. Quiet, brutal, true. The now you trust? It's a construction. A story your brain tells using delayed light signals, stitched together, smoothed out, made comfortable. But comfort isn't truth. Here's the part nobody tells you. You are always living in light's past. The sun you see is 8 minutes old. The stars you see are years old, centuries old, some already dead. Even your own hand, nanoseconds old by the time you perceive it. You exist in a bubble of delayed information, light carrying updates from a universe that's already moved on, and you call this now. People say the present moment is real, but that's just a label. The present is a lag, a buffer, a reconstruction made from light that's already finished traveling. The universe doesn't wait for you to catch up. Light delivers what it delivers, when it delivers. Your brain does the rest. So far we've learned this. Time is relative. Simultaneity is personal. The present is a construction, and light creates time by connecting events. You think you understand time because you feel it passing, but feeling isn't understanding. Understanding is knowing that right now, this very moment, is already gone. Light took it, delivered it late, and called it now, and you believed it. So here's the question I'll leave you with. If time is just light's accounting system, if the present is just delayed information, if now is a story your brain invents, what happens to time in total darkness? Not dim light, not shadows, complete, absolute darkness. Does time still exist, or does it need light to mean anything at all? I don't have the answer. Maybe nobody does. But now you're asking the right question, and that changes everything. Drop your answer below. I'll be reading. See you in the next one.